At this time, please turn off your cell phones. Thank you. Please stand to honor the graduates and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good afternoon, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Bedell, special guests, faculty, parents, friends, and finally the class of 2022. My name is Danielle Hewitt, and I am a proud graduate of the class of 2022 from Anne Arundel Evening High, Glen Burnie campus and Northeast Summer School. It's my honor to begin our graduation ceremony by leading the Pledge of Allegiance. Gentlemen, would you please remove your caps? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just want to start out by congratulating everyone. We did it. We survived. It was not easy getting here. For some of us, this was our first year back in-person school since COVID. The transition has not been easy. I know it wasn't easy for me at all. I was supposed to graduate last year, but I can thank my middle school self for that one. That girl never wanted to listen. 2 years ago, we got a week off of school, and that week turned into 2 years online alone. For some of us, we benefited and thrived online, while some of us didn't. Coming back, I was going into my senior year, and I hadn't been to school in person in so long, I didn't know how it would be. Transitioning back was easy for some. It was even exciting. But coming back was nothing close to exciting for me. Riddled with anxiety that had me leaving early every day, which eventually led to me giving up. I stopped going to school altogether. My grades dropped to all-time lows, and I was on the verge of failing. My guidance counselor at that time knew that if I failed, I was not coming back to school. So we tried home hospital teaching, which I didn't do, and I had lost all hope or motivation to graduate. That's when she mentioned evening high school. I always thought evening high was going to be the same as day school and pointless. So I talked to my boyfriend, who was already in evening high school, and he told me that it was way more quiet, there were fewer students, and it's in the evening, so I didn't have to wake up as early, which I'd enjoy because I do not like mornings at all. I ended up saying yes to evening high, and it was the best decision I ever made. My grades went from 7% E's to AB honor roll. I was thriving, able to get one-on-one help from my teachers, which really helped since there were fewer students. This spring, my counselors and administrators at Evening High told me that I needed 2 more classes to graduate, and they knew that if I was coming back, I wasn't going to do it. So I went to summer school. It was 2 classes, and I am done. I never thought I was going to make it. Between my own anxieties and fear of failure, as my life has thrown obstacle after obstacle, moving schools almost every year, moving states, going into foster care, all the things that pushed me down, but I pushed back. I made it. I am standing here against all odds in a cap and gown about to graduate. I'm already working as a preschool teacher at Kingdom Care, and I'm working to get more certifications so I can become a lead teacher within the next year. Looking out, I don't know any of your stories or how you guys got here, but I'm happy you are here now. I would now like to introduce you guys to Master of Ceremonies for today's graduation ceremony, Mr. Nelson Perrine, the principal of Secondary Summer School. Mr. Ryan?
Thank you. Good job. Thank you, Danielle. Good afternoon, and welcome to Graduation Day. Joining us today on this notable occasion are several very special guests. Please stand as you're introduced. First, the Honorable Dr. Joanna Tobin, President of our Board of Education. The Honorable Robert Silkworth, Vice President of the Board of Education. Dr. Mark Bedell, Superintendent of Schools. Ms. Monique Jackson, Deputy Superintendent of Student Support. Dr. Maureen McMahon, Deputy Superintendent, Academics and Strategic Initiatives. Dr. Dawn Lucarelli, Associate Superintendent of School Performance. Ms. Michelle Batten, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. Ms. Sarah Egan, Assistant Superintendent of Student Support Services. Mrs. Mary Tillar, Assistant Superintendent of Advanced Studies and Programs. Mr. Christopher Truffer, Regional Assistant Superintendent for School Performance. Dr. Maisha Gillens, Executive Director of Equity and Accelerated Student Achievement. Ms. Nicole Howard, Director of Curriculum and Assessments. Mr. Patrick Crane, Director of Alternative Education. And Ms. Megan Lewis, Senior Manager of Alternative Education. Thank you for joining us today. I think that the people on the stage are an indication of just how important this event is. In addition, I would like to recognize the following people for their efforts in making today's program possible. The 6 lead administrators for this summer's secondary summer school. Mr. Robert Connerton, Annapolis Summer School. Dr. Felicia Simmons, Arundel Summer School. Ms. Angela Marhefka, Northeast Summer School. Mr. Stephen Bernstein, Old Mill Summer School. And though not with us today, Mr. William Fittick, Severna Park Summer School. And Mrs. Roddy Jablonski, South River Summer School. Also, I would like to acknowledge Mr. Patrick Bathurst, principal of our host school, Severna Park High School. Anna Duval, business manager for Severna Park High School, and the school staff who made today's program possible. I'd also like to thank Bernstein Studios for providing memories of today's event. Now, to bring you greetings from the Board of Education, the Honorable Dr. Joanna Tobin, President of the Board of Education.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Perrine, for that very kind introduction. I am very grateful to be here today, along with my colleague, Mr. Silkworth, to celebrate this amazing group of young people and to bring greetings from the Board of Education. And I know we are especially thrilled to be here with Dr. Bedell as he participates in his first AACPS graduation as our new superintendent. We are all so very, very proud of each and every one of you. This is truly a day of joy and celebration for you, your families, and teachers, and we are honored to share it with you. Graduations are always an occasion for congratulations. To graduate is truly an accomplishment and serves as a signal to you and to the rest of the world that you finished what you started and that you are now ready to commence the rest of your life. I think that is especially true of all of you here today. It takes a special level of commitment to see something through when it takes you longer than you had hoped it would, or when you didn't do it in the same way or on the same schedule as everyone else. You didn't let that stop you. You persisted, and so did your teachers and families, and you got here. And that is truly something to be proud of. This experience has also given you some precious gifts. That same persistence and determination will serve you well for the rest of your lives in everything you do. But you know what else will serve you well? The fact that you didn't do this just the way everyone else usually does. In my experience, one of the greatest barriers for most people to a successful and fulfilling life, no matter how talented, hardworking, or accomplished they may be, is the fear of not living up to what they think the world expects of them. That's because when you become focused on what others do and whether or not you're doing what they do, you lose sight of yourself and who you are. You let yourself become driven by what you believe everyone else expects of you. But the truth is that it is your expectations of yourself that will help you achieve your dreams, not the expectations of others. If you believe in yourself, if you know what you are capable of, and you won't know when you are not living up to that capacity, and when you are, then you will not go wrong. And honestly, it won't be easy for others to steer you wrong, because you will have within yourself the compass that you need to steer your own life, to know what to avoid and to know what to aim for. Most importantly, you will have the ability to bring your gifts to the table for all the world to see, and from which we may all benefit. And believe me, we have never needed the unique gifts of every single human being the way we do now. We need what you, and only you, have to give in your own way if we are to find a way for all of us to get through the challenges we face as a community and as a world. Don't get me wrong. This does not mean you don't need others and they don't need you. I have no doubt that you are here today at this graduation partly because of the love of your family and friends, the care of your teachers and administrators, and the support of your community. You couldn't have done it alone. None of us can. And I hope you never forget how much has been poured into you by so many, and that when the time comes, in whatever way you can, you pour what you have into those around you so they can move forward just as you are today. But now you're ready to take those next steps to a job or to college or to whatever else awaits. Only you can determine what the right path for you will be and how you will walk that path. But as you start that journey, I hope you take pride in knowing that you got here today your own way, and that you finished what you started, and that you have within you what it takes to make a life that is uniquely your own and that will bring something precious and important to a world that is waiting for what you have to give. I'll end today with a brief quotation from a man who led his own life his own way, a writer whose work I've spent many years studying and writing about, named Ralph Waldo Emerson. Here it is. What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. Today you leave behind one chapter of your life and begin another. But through that change and the many others you will face throughout your life, one thing will remain constant: what you carry within yourself. Make sure you honor your internal compass. Make sure you let it guide you. That is what will enable others to see your true gifts, who you really are.
Thank you, Dr. Tobin. Now bringing us his greetings, Dr. Mark Bedell, Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Bedell.
Thank you. Graduates, let me start off by congratulating each and every single one of you as summer class of 22 graduates. But I need for you all to do a favor for me. There are a lot of people in here today supporting you, family, friends, relatives, people who have helped you through your journey. Could you please give them a round of applause for being here to support you today? Thank you. And I also want to thank each and every single one of our parent, guardians, family members for everything that you've done to help support these students who are getting ready to receive their high school diplomas. Just a little bit about me as far as greetings are concerned. I'm a new superintendent here in Anne Arundel County Public Schools. I have 6 years of superintendent experience in the Kansas City Public School District, where we've had a tremendous amount of success. And one of the things that I've shared with that community is that when I look at the students who are up here, the three, and all of you who are down here, I am you. I am you. I took my own journey to get to where I am today. You see, in the second grade, I was told by a teacher that I was dumb, ugly, and would never amount to anything, and I dropped out of school in the second grade. Understand that. I made mistakes when I was in the 10th grade and became ineligible to play basketball. And it was the defining moment in my career as a high school student where I realized I had to do things differently. I ended up having to go to night school my senior year in order to graduate on time because of mistakes that I made. But here's what I will assure each and every single one of you. As you walk across this stage today, when you go and you interview for a job, nobody's going to ask you, how long did it take for you to get your high school diploma? Nobody's going to ask you, how long did it take for you to get your associate's degree? How long did it take for you to get your master's? Whatever it is that you do from a trade skill set standpoint. What people want to know is, do you have the required paperwork and do you have the prerequisite skill set to do the job? And you have already accomplished getting your paperwork so that you can move on with the next endeavor that your life has to offer. So I want to offer that to you. I stand here with a doctorate degree. I've had a lot of success in my life, but my path was not an easy path, just like many of yours. And when I interviewed for this job back in May, that wasn't a question. Dr. Bedell, how long did it take for you to get out of high school? Dr. Bedell, how long did it take for you to get your doctorate degree? They wanted to know, did I have the documents needed in order to apply for the job, and I'm here today. So my goal as a superintendent is to do everything that I can to inspire. We are a good school system. I tell everybody, I want to be better than good. I want us to be great. I want us to be exceptional. And what I'm asking of all of our families in here is, if this is your last child graduating, do not tap out on us. Continue to lean into this school district. We have big plans around how we want to innovate. You're going to hear a lot about that. We have big plans on how we want to make sure that these graduates are proud of their school district, because we will become a top school district in this state and a top school district in the United States. I want to thank each and every single one of you, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Dr. Bedell. Today, our student speaker will share with us her thoughts on what her diploma means to her. Our student speaker graduating from Glen Burnie High School and Old Mill Summer School is Caitlin Chiapetta. Caitlin?
I want to say thank you to the teachers, parents, and staffs who made these last 12 years possible in the best way that they could. That being said, I would like to thank some teachers that have helped me along the way. I want to start by thanking some teachers from Glendale Elementary. Thank you to Miss Windsor, Miss Nevin, and Miss Ness and Miss Goss for always believing that I could reach my dreams and accomplishing my goals, and whoever I wanted to be, and for being there when things were getting hard in elementary school, when I was getting bullied. And then to middle school, the teachers and the principal, Ms. Zaccarelli, Ms. Hess, Ms. Brooke, Ms. Sills, Ms. B, and Ms. Jennings, and Ms. Champoli, and Ms. Dorita, guidance counselor, for always being there and believing me, and especially for being there for me in 2018 when my grandmother that I was really, really close with passed away. And for actually even coming to their viewing to support me and be there for me. I really appreciated that. Thank you to my principal from middle school, Ms. Kimberly Winterbottom, for coming to the graduation today and for being there for me when I was getting bullied and tried to stop it. It helped me learn that it's best to ignore it, and if you ignore it, it stops. And it's better to focus on what you want to do instead of what people are talking about you. Finally, on the high school. These years were a lot tougher. I lost my mom's mom in 2019. And then not even a year after, I lost my dad's mom. And I lost the only grandfather that I ever knew, who was the smartest guy I knew, who wanted this for me, which makes it 10 times better that I'm graduating, because I know that without him looking down at me, I wouldn't have been able to do it. But I also wouldn't have been able to do it without being put in the sports and learning how to play the sports that I did, because they helped a lot. And without any of my friends or my family. And I started missing a lot of school because I was working a lot, and I eventually missed my English credit by 2 points, and 2 points only. And that's when Miss Mills said, you have to go to summer school, and I did. And I met an awesome teacher named Mr. Mason, who helped me along the way, all the way through summer school. I also want to thank Mr. Scott McGuire and Miss Mills, my guidance counselor, and Miss Ellen, my IEP teacher, and Coach Bobby and Miss Brandina for showing all of us at Glen Burnie that we do matter and that you do care. I honestly don't know what I would have done without sports. I've played softball since I was 6. I've always loved it, no matter what, even when I got tired of playing. But I didn't let any of it stop me. I still graduated, and I'm glad that I'm doing what I could be. I never got to meet my dad's dad because he was a merchant marine and died before I was born. But I know that him and my mom's dad and both of my grandmothers are looking down on me, and are proud. Which is awesome. I always had like one best friend, Erica, and then the other one, Maddie, who's actually here today. And I want to thank them for being there, and my parents for always being there, and my brother and my sister and my nephew. Actually, both of my nephews and my niece and my sister-in-law, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. Especially my sister-in-law and my brother, who always helped me throughout high school. If I got stuck on a problem, they would be there and teach me, which is pretty amazing. But we did it. We are graduating. Congrats to the rest of the 2022 senior class.
Thank you, Caitlin, for sharing your thoughts with us. Mr. Silkworth, please join me at the podium. Graduates, please stand for the conferring of diplomas. Conferring diplomas will be the Honorable Robert Silkworth, Vice President of the Board of Education. Mr. Silkworth, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the Anne Arundel County Public Schools Secondary Summer School, I recommend to you the members of the summer class of 2022 as qualified candidates of the State of Maryland High School Diploma from their respective high schools.
Thank you. By virtue of the authority invested in the Anne Arundel County Board of Education under the laws of the State of Maryland, I do now award diplomas evidencing the satisfactory completion of the prescribed course of studies to the students of the Anne Arundel County Public Schools Secondary Summer School who have been recommended for graduation from their high schools by the faculty of their schools.
Thank you, sir. Graduates, remain standing. Diplomas will be presented to the graduates by Dr. Tobin and Mr. Silkworth. Graduates, come to the stairs leading up to the stage. As your name is called, you will come forward to receive your diploma. If you are wearing a mask, you can remove it if you wish. Stop, turn, smile for the camera, and you may be seated as you return to your seats. Diplomas will be awarded by high school. The student speakers will be the first to receive their diplomas, followed by their fellow graduates. The first school to receive diplomas today will be Annapolis High School. Ashley Aralia Del Cid. Darwin Martinez Castro. Angela Nicole Paredes Alvarez. The next group of students receiving diplomas will be graduating from Anne Arundel Evening High School. Danielle Alexandra Hewitt. Blanca Jasmine Campos. Kevin Edenilson Benitez Rodriguez. Abner Chugwa Choko. Sheldon Dyer, Jr. Giovanni Lazaro Gonzalez. Jordan Travis Jameson. Jasmine Tamia Milani. Kimberly Jamara Zuniga Granda. The next school to be graduating, Broadneck High School, Mackenzie Leah Bailey. Rhiannon Suzanne Lang. Chesapeake High School. Jordan Ty Furman. Glen Burnie High School. Caitlin Teresa Chapetta. Jessica Guadalupe Esquivel. Franklin Ernesto Hernandez Gonzalez. Tasha Rose Jameson. Kendon Adair Rivera. Matthew Dale Tucker. Belisario Herminio Vasquez Botts. Meade High School. Chelsea Yarile Astudillo. Aquat Qual Achol Dedut. North County High School. I'm sorry. I apologize. Christian Gabrielle Green. Oh, sorry about that. North County High School. B. Clarice Lagarto Abaria. Michaela Giselle Razori Lopez. Kelsey Renee Sparrow. Northeast High School. Ariana Marie Duggar. Colin Ray Smith. Old Mill High School. Lowell Joseph Braswell III. Sierra Taylor Hinton. William Jaden Perry III. Melia Diane Solomon. Chaz Ritson Welsh Marshall. Thank you, Dr. Tobin and Mr. Silkworth. Graduates, please stand. As the diploma symbolizes your completion of high school, the moving of the tassel from the right to the left side symbolizes the future that awaits you. At this time, move the tassel from the right to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the summer class of 2022. Please be seated. And now I would like to introduce Blanca Campos, graduate of Anne Arundel Evening High School, Annapolis campus, and Annapolis Summer School, with some final thoughts of gratitude, inspiration, and encouragement. Blanca, Alden Strauss.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here dedicating my graduation and my success to my brother, who unfortunately passed away in 2019. He introduced me to Evening High School. I remember how he told me how helpful it was for him. And then he convinced my mother to let me join Evening High School the following year as a rising junior. When enrolled, I loved my classes. They had fewer students and I could interact with the teachers more than during the day. During my junior year, I was thriving in Evening High School, however, my day classes weren't going so well. I talked to my counselor and asked if I could transfer to Evening High School full-time for my senior year. During my senior year, I worked full-time at Naval Bagels. I had to wake up at 4 in the morning to be at work by 5:30. I finished work at 2 in the afternoon, and I attended Evening High School from 3:30 until 9 at night every day of the week. It was hard. It was tough. And there were days where I wanted to quit. But I knew I had people that believed in me. And at one point, Evening High School held a meeting for all the seniors to do about what to do about after Evening High School. I planned to go to HVAC, trade school. I think it will be a great opportunity for me. Finally, I want to thank my mother, Priscilla, and my best friend, Jasmine, who kept me motivated all this time. Congratulations to the class of 2022, and good luck in your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Blanca. High school graduates, this is just the beginning of what we all hope will be a wonderfully successful life's journey. Good luck. You are ready for your future. Graduates, please stand. Parents, families, guests, please stand to honor our graduates as they leave the auditorium.